What if I told you the smartest, fastest, and potentially safest way to own a business isn't always to start one, it's to buy one? Forget the sleepless nights, ramen dinners, the terrifying odds, 90% failure, all the things you hear about. If you can find the right business to buy, I'm going to show you why that's the best way to go. Over the past 30 years, I've personally acquired more than 15 businesses. I've had hundreds of employees. I've gone through the sleepless nights. I've done all this work just to be able to sit here and talk to you about why you should consider listening for the next 10 minutes about buying the right business for you. I've done over $2 billion of financings and deals, both as a principal, as a broker, and an agent. I've done lots of different businesses, so it's not the type of business that's going to matter. It's going to be about fitting your personality and your interests into the right business to go buy. Let me tell you why now is the time that you need to listen and take action. Right now, the largest transfer of wealth ever in this country, probably in the world, is going on. 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every single day. That's why we call it the Silver Tsunami. This is the baby boom generation. This is your opportunity to listen, take notes, and figure out how you're going to buy one of these businesses and create wealth for you and your family. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get that done. So let's get started. Why are startups hard, and why do you always hear that 90% of them fail? They fail because they don't have something called product-market fit. The market didn't continue to buy their product. So why is that important to us when we're talking about why we should buy a business? Because if you buy a business that's been around for 5, 10, 20 years, they've got product-market fit. They know what they're doing. Customers are buying it. And when you buy the business, they're going to continue to buy it. Doesn't that make a lot more sense than going out and trying to figure this out for the next year or two and all the sleepless nights that come from not knowing whether the customers are going to like it, buy it, price? There's a lot that you're gambling on when you start up a company. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but for most people, buying a business is going to be the smartest way to get ownership and to get in the game and be part of this whole wave of business buying. So let me give you the few points that you got to focus on when you're looking about why you're going to do this. If you're looking at your own personal situation, a lot of this comes down to what is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you happy in your corporate job? Are you happy in what you're doing? Have you looked at your friends that might own a business? It could be a landscaping company, and he's a member of your country club. Why? Because he's got a lot of people working for him, and he's leveraging that success and profits. And that's what you want to do as a business owner. You want to be the one leveraging everything else and sitting back and understanding that you've got an accepted product, and that's what you want to buy a business for. You want to make sure that that product is going to continue and grow, and you're going to get involved and add to it without taking all the risk of having started it up. Now, how are you going to get this done? There's a process that you're going to go through. I've helped probably about 100 associates and clients buy businesses over this period of time, and they are so happy to be in a position of ownership, having skipped all the startup process, gone straight to the cash flowing part, where if you buy a business at 3 or 4 times, in 3 or 4 years, you've effectively had the business pay for itself. And that's what people don't understand. When you're buying these smaller businesses that have got product market fit, you're getting 33% or more return on your money having bought that business. Where are you going to get that? You're not going to get that in real estate. You're not going to get that in the stock market. And if you pick the right business, you're going to find something that you really like and you're proud of, and potentially even your family gets involved. There's a lot of ways this can go, and it always starts with getting the right business selected for you based on your profile and your interests and your skill sets. Let's talk about what's going to hold you back. What are the reasons that you possibly wouldn't do this? It could be you don't think you have the money. It can be you don't think you know the business. It can be that you're not sure how to get started. These are all things you can get going on today. And with the amount of content that's out there right now, people out there to help you, books you can read, podcasts you can listen to, my video, and just looking at the success of others, you're going to get the cheat code about how to get this done. That's what you want to do it for. When it comes to how do you finance it, the SBA is your friend. You've got an SBA lender that you don't have to over leverage. You can get up to 90% loans. You've got someone in the government working with a local bank that's going to help you buy that business. So you can get a larger business than you think you can, because you're going to be able to get really good leverage and a partner in the SBA who's going to help you get that deal closed. Now, that could be $100,000 of cash buying $1 million business. How does that work? Well, you get $100,000 of cash, the seller gives you some financing, the SBA gives you the rest. Therefore, you've got a business earning $250,000 that you paid $1 million for, that you only put $100,000 up. Sound like a good deal? It is. You just have to pick the right one for you. And so let's talk about where you are in your journey. Everyone thinks that you have to be 25, 30, 35 to acquire a company, grow a company. And the reality is, and these are the facts, the most recent study that came out said the most optimum age for acquiring one was 47 to 55. 47 was the peak, all the way through 55. That was the optimum. Even if you're older, there's a lot of businesses that you can buy or start with a franchise, which is really like an acquisition because you're buying a proven market system when you get that. So therefore, you've got many options that you can look at. And if you follow this process and what I'm going to talk about, you're going to see that there's a way to evaluate all these business opportunities. Pick the right one. It's like Warren Buffett says, you don't have to swing at every pitch. You can wait for the right one to come over the plate and just hit that nice big fat pitch out of the park. That's what we're here to do. Now, many of you probably heard about private equity. Okay, as opposed to venture capital, I like to call a hit business. You're just hoping for a few hits to make up for your losers. Private equity is playing a safe, relatively structured scorecard that they can play over and over again. And it basically is the same thing I follow, and I have all my associates follow, about how to buy a business. You're buying something that has got product market fit, good margins, good cash flow, moderate leverage, that you can grow, and when you exit, you're going to get a higher multiple than what you paid going in if everything is in good shape. So that means standard operating procedures. It means doing the things that you're going to want to learn how to do in the business that aren't hard. If you want to buy a plumbing company, do you need to be a plumber? No. You need to understand what that is, but if you own a home, you know what the plumbing needs of a homeowner are. That's more important than knowing how to turn the wrench. So with the product market fit and with following the private equity playbook, which is a very successful playbook, and that's the one that you get to basically borrow from here, we're going to buy a business, grow it, sell it, and achieve a big financial return. So how do we find the business to buy? There's a whole process to go through that's the subject of another video that I'll do someday in the near future. But in that selection process of determining what's right for you in the right business, finding something that's excited to do, that's going to provide the security, the economic freedom that you're looking for, away from that corporate job. It's a situation where it's even hard to find a job now. You're better off to own your own job, own your own business, and just go pick the right one. The diamond in the rough philosophy is, it's not a diamond in the rough if you're in a diamond mine. So we're going to get you in the diamond mine, and you're going to have a lot of diamonds to look at. So let's go ahead and talk about what that is. You're looking for a business that has got scalable product market fit, reasonable multiple, and something you can understand. You should be able to explain the right business for you in something in 60 seconds that someone sits across the table at a dinner and says, oh, I understand that, I get that, and that's a good business. Those are the things that Berkshire Hathaway and Buffett buy. You got See's Candy, we all know what that is. It's returned 120 times what he paid for it. That's what we're trying to do in a smaller scale. That's what I've done for over 17 companies, and in my track record in looking at it, I can tell you it was really good when it came to buying businesses, and on the startup side, I had some misses. And it was painful. So I really prefer to buy someone else's problems that they've gone through and solved, and I'm happy to step in there and buy that. That's why I think you have to look at the same situation. Don't start it, buy it. So there you have it. Why is it buying a business better than starting one? Again, it's around that product market fit, paying a low multiple, and letting the business pay you back by having the earnings of the business actually pay off any debt and return of capital you need. The Silver Tsunami, which we talked about, is a real thing. Baby boomers are retiring every day, every month, and over 40% of them don't even have anywhere to sell their business. They either shut it down, close it down, nobody in the family wants to take it over. This is a great opportunity to be picking through all those things that you're going to look at through business brokers, your own work, listening to podcasts, watching videos. This is your journey. You need to get on it. I hope that this has been helpful to you. I'm going to keep trying to make this content available to everybody, and I hope that you had the same success. And if you like what you saw, please share it, talk about it, put it into action, and also subscribe and like the channel so I can continue to try to produce this content for you and everyone like you. Thanks very much.